What's going on, everybody? Jeremy here for our little bonus coverage to go over the track results from our rental last week. So, I figured you guys like these live videos. It's a little bit easier to kind of recap things and, can rewatch it to go over it. So we're mainly going to be focusing on the truck and how she did. A couple shout outs to Helion Turbo Systems. Recap, we gutted the blower and put twin 64s on her. So other than that, with the set of injectors and the boost pump, she's stock. So, we're just trying to show the difference between compound boosted straight turbo and the benefits there on after. Shout out to Attitude Performance. We ran into an issue actually the day before the track where we needed some lug nuts that fit. The ones we got were too short. So they came through for us as lifesavers. So we were able to, still utilize the wheels we got from Solus Racing Group as well. Another shout out there. So kind of the general of what we were trying to do with it, right? So like we normally do, we say we build street cars you can race, not race cars for the street, right? So we actually hooked up my Charger Hellcat to a trailer, and we towed my Hellcat to the track with the truck. On E85, cruising about 75, 80 miles an hour most of the way, a little bit of side streets mixed in. The 50-mile road trip, we averaged about 10 miles to the gallon. So that was pretty cool to be able to, still trailer on E85s, twin turbos, and get 10 miles to the gallon. It helps without that parasitic drain from the blower. Still seeing 1, 2, 3 pounds of boost, just steady cruising, but no rotors to spin, right? So made it a lot easier on the engine. So we got to the racetrack, Byron Dragway. We did our rental there for the first time in this year, and basically what my team did is we unloaded the Charger and then we transformed the truck. So we removed the side steps, swapped the wheels naturally, pulled the stockers off, removed the spare. We took the interior out except for the driver's seat. To remove the cat back, we actually left the factory cat back in place just to try and keep it as simple as possible. With about 3 guys on it constantly, we got it done, I'd say in about 30 minutes or so as we transformed the truck. So I'm just trying to, optimize what we can, right? These things are fat and heavy, so the rotating mass from the wheels helps a lot. Spare tire alone being a full size, and it just helped out. So we then proceeded to, let her cool down. We took the Charger for a quick rip. Found out that even with the dual pump setup and the 310 up around the porta blower, she was utilizing too much fuel. So the car will be for sale with the stock throttle body. Ran high 9s with the stock throttle body on it, so if you put a dual pump or switch the fuel system with the 108, she'll be capable of mid 9s. So Charger Hellcat is for sale, so we'll make a big post about that. Now, what everybody's been waiting for in the truck, right? So initially our long-term goals for it are to run 9s with the stock motor, stock trans. We didn't have time. We're waiting for our 2-step to show up because I sold the one off my Charger. Didn't think about it too well when I did that, but anyways, so we went to the track with no 2-step on it, so I was just full braking. Started off with around 15-16 pounds of boost is where we wanted to initiate. So the first couple of hits was peaking at 15 pounds, launching in second gear and just full braking it as high as we could. First pass, I spun the tires. She got out of the groove. So it was an awful 2/160 foot with an 11.2. So then we went out. I left a little bit softer, a little too soft. So built it up to, the first one was about 10 pounds of boost. I was able to foot brake it to. Second pass, I launched at about 6-7 pounds of boost. And what we were seeing is because of the RPM needed to build that without a 2-step, it would leave, and then when the torque converter started actually locking up, it actually caused the boost to drop because of the lockup of the converter. So lost a little boost on the hit. So the 60 foot was a little bit better. 1.9 dropped to an 11.0. And then what we tried on it is we tried leaving in first gear instead of second. Leaving in first gear, we weren't able to foot brake as much. It didn't allow us to get the RPM as high. So although we had the gearing assistance, we didn't leave under as much boost. It did net a little bit better of a 60 foot, although it had less boost just from the gearing help. So that was our first 10-second pass. It did a 1080 at 127 mile an hour. So not bad. So then we went ahead and we got a little message, low internet connection, so if it's a little choppy, sorry about that. So then we decided we were going to go ahead and turn it up a little bit. So we had the boost targeted about 19 pounds of boost, give or take. Went up, second gear launch. It was about 8 pounds of boost. Cut a 1/860 foot. Got out just past about 1,000 foot. And monitoring the AFR, saw a little blip where it leaned out, and I didn't like it a little bit. So I let out, and reviewing the data log, it nosed over at the same time. So right about, it was less than a quarter of a second when I let off the gas, I saw a little bit of knock on the data log. Now mind you, the tank was over half filled with our Satera Spice out front race fuel, which is 85% ethanol mixed with 118 octane gas. So it's a very high octane, it doesn't detonate. So I noticed pulling off the track at the end that the truck was kind of stuttering a little bit, like it was misfiring real bad. Look over at the log, and sure enough, my driver's side was misfiring real bad across the board. So if you don't know, these vehicles have a protocol in place where if they see too many misfires, they actually disable the cylinder to prevent damage. So turn the car off, your truck off, turn it back on, and was running fine, no issues. But I heard something. So, you know, naturally a little, I had to tow the car home, you know, tow my Charger back. So we decided to call it a day after seeing a knock on the log and that initial response. Well, after getting back to the pits, guys swap it back over to, you know, trailer mode. Another 30 minutes, put the factory tires back on, everything like that. Started it back up, running fine, but I heard something. Turns out, I guess when we turned the boost up for the first time, I think I blew out an exhaust gasket on the manifold. So for those that don't know, with the Helium kit, we did the AFE shorty headers. We had initial fitment issues with it from the alignment. The pitch on the flange is off a little bit. And then we even had to swap out the gaskets a couple times to get it to seal. And I think once I finally turned it up to, you know, 19, 20 pounds of boost, I think that the pressure from the exhaust just blew out the gasket. So that essentially led to misfires because, you know, with the wide bands on the car, it started dumping fuel on that one side to hit the targeted AFR we wanted, but it was actually a false lean and created a misfire on the driver's bank. That's why the whole driver's side basically was disabled and it turned into a 4-cylinder. So needless to say, you know, we developed an exhaust leak. So I wasn't going to continue beating on it. We ended up, I trailered home and still got decent fuel economy. Pulled the plugs on the truck. Plugs are fine other than a little fuel on it on the driver's side. Did a compression check just to make sure everything is perfect. We just have an exhaust leak. So that being said, you know, we ran a 1050 letting off just past 1,000 foot. The mile an hour, it was 121 miles an hour. So not bad for, you know, our first, oh, lost internet there. But yeah, so 1050s is what we did. Like I said, 19, 20 pounds of boost, letting out at the 1,000 foot. So the eighth on it was 110 miles an hour, quarter was 121, just to give you an example for the whole pass, right? So potential's there, kind of what we were lined out for. The long-term goal for is to target about 24, 25 pounds of boost on a full hit. Got the two-step on the way. You know, and yeah, that should hopefully, you know, make the launch more aggressive. I'm targeting for my self goals with it about a 1,660 foot. I think would be a you know, reasonable target without really having to push things too far. You know, at a 110 in the eighth, that's easily a 9-second pass. So if I didn't let out of it, you know, and if we didn't have that exhaust leak issue, it was definitely on a mission for a 9-second pass with under 20 pounds of boost. So overall, we're really happy with how she performed. You know, still got 10 miles to the gallon even with the exhaust leak on the way back. She's still fine. You know, we fixed it. Everything's good. So overall, very, very happy with the initial results for the first time out at the track. Had a couple other cars. We had our twin turbo TRX there. You know, that one, same thing. Got a blower twin 68s from Helium with a 420 cubic inch. It was the first time at the track for that one. Ran low 10s with sub 15 pounds of boost. It was the first time at the track, so we were just, you know, getting things set up, getting the customer used to it and comfortable. It's been a while since he's driven the truck. You know, last time I was with the Whipple 3.8, so it takes a little adjustment. I had a couple other turbo cars there. Really, you know, their first time at the track with somebody assisting with dialing. You know, they did fairly well for what it was. Identified a couple of areas of opportunity. The other vehicles were ones we didn't build. We were just tuning, so we were assisting and getting them comfortable with the setup. Some personal bests were hit. We had the Vortec yellow Challenger at the track. He made a ton of passes. Again, he hasn't sat in the car in several years, so it was fun. He did it on his street tires. Found out he needed to hammer out his wheel fenders, you know, to put the radials on it. That car was doing 148, 150 mile an hour, you know, with high nines. So as we worked through the 60-foot, ran into a little oiling issue with that one. We're hoping it's just a scavenger pump failed on us, so we'll see on the results of that one. But the V13 Vortec blower was producing over 24 pounds of boost, which is outstanding. So math calculations, when the car made just over 1250 to the wheels at 21, that car was pumping 1300 wheel out of it. So very impressive. We modified the bracket a little bit to get a smaller pulley. Everything turned out real well for that. So yeah, overall, first track visit, not bad. So we got some things we're going to be making tweaks on and hopefully getting a rental out there in about a month or so. Chris, we'll hopefully have some good things for you by next week, so keep an eye out for it. So, no, scavenger pump is fine. I think we threw one belt, and I think it might have taken out an oil return line on it, so that's where the oil came from. Basically, at the top end of the track, there's big puff oil, and, you know, oil down the track, but there's no metal, there's no clanking, no knocking or anything like that. It's just a bunch of oil. So, going to look into that and see. Just have to make a tweak on one of the idlers for the bracket, and everything will be good there. But that sucker making 24 pounds was a fun car. So, yeah, so like I said, this was just a quick one just to kind of wrap up how the truck did. So, again, thank you to everybody that helped out. But so far, we set the bar at 1050 with 19 pounds of boost, with a whimsy 1.8 launch, 1.8 60-foot there. So, we'll be back in the next couple of weeks. A rental hopefully in about a month or so, pending weather. It was really hot. DA was over 3,000. So we're hoping obviously for the first track rental to have something a little bit better, but these hot springs are getting us there. So overall, it was a fun track day. Everybody for the most part got to drive home and set personal bests. So yeah. We will get another track rental out there and see what we can do once we tweak some things. So thanks for checking in. I know it was a short one, just a quick way for us to wrap up. We're going to gather some more pictures and videos of the truck in action. You saw the one little teaser video, so we have a couple more of the passes we will be sharing. And we'll be back Friday still for our full live vlog. So thanks for checking in, guys. We'll see you then. Thanks.